Okay, meeting will be called to order here. Roll call, please.
Urban.
Here.
Peeler.
Here.
Fitzgerald.
Here.
Cramblett. Here. Herrick.
Here.
Jack, I'm sorry, dear.
Here.
Okay.
Stand. Let us pray, our Lord, that we who serve your people in public office may have your blessings and guidance in our deliberations and decisions, so that what we consciously receive will be just and beneficial to the people we serve. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, young lady. Okay, reading and approval of the minutes. I don't know, how many did we have to read? Just the one? Two, three?
Three, right?
Three, yeah.
It goes back to July 21st, August 11th, and August 18th, I believe. It was all three, right?
August 11th, the other one was what, August
18th.
18th? Yeah,
Yeah.
got them here.
I will be so far right after Set.
Yes, George.
I move, first of all, that the minutes from the meeting of July 21st, 2020 be approved as presented this time before council.
I hear a second.
Second.
Adam,
I don't have these minutes.
roll call.
Upstairs, maybe in the mailbox?
Oh, yeah, because they've been in there.
Oh, okay.
They're, or Pat, I'm sorry, they're probably still there
Oh, okay, I'll get it.
from a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
That was July 21st?
It was the July 21st.
Yeah, it's 21st, yeah.
Okay.
Anybody else need them? I can run real quick and grab them from everybody. Who else needs them?
I got
Anybody else
it.
know? If you start the roll call with me, I'll run out there real quick.
Urban.
Yes. Great. I'll run for it. Yes.
Peeler.
Yes, we got you.
Fitzgerald.
Actually, that's good for you.
Cramblett.
Yes.
Herrick.
Yes.
While he's gone, I'd like to make a motion to excuse Mr. Fifth when he's working.
Excuse who?
Spud?
And Bobby, both?
I don't know about Bob.
Yeah, Bobby's, Bobby.
All right,
Second. For both.
Jody Lynn, second.
both of them,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
That was for the mayor and Bob.
Yes.
Yes. For both.
So you didn't have to do that other for enough, but thank you.
Thank you, sir. You're welcome.
Jody Lynn?
I make a motion that the meeting minutes, special council meeting from 8/11.
And I have a second on that?
Pat?
Pat? Jody Lynn, Pat, roll call.
Okay. Peeler.
Yes.
Oh, I skipped Jack, I'm sorry again.
Yes.
Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Okay. Cramblett.
Yes.
Herrick.
Yes?
Urban.
Yes, with one modification. Just a slight modification. There were a couple of votes on 8/11 that said 6-0, but we had one council member absent, it should say 5-0.
Who was absent?
Adam was absent on that one.
Oh,
So it
for
should be
that
5-0.
special meeting.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right, I'm sorry.
So
I'll,
it's with those two modifications that, yes,
I'll correct that on the,
yeah, minor
the
modification.
file.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, That was on two votes, George?
Yeah, there it was on page 2, under ordinance resolution at the end of that for safety.
Okay,
And then on page 3, the motion to adjourn. That's all, 2 little modifications.
okay.
Jody Lynn?
Make a motion to accept the minutes from 8/18/2020.
George? Second. Roll call?
Fitzgerald and George. Okay, Patel,
Yes.
Healer,
Yes.
Cramblett, I'm sorry, Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Cramblett, Herrick,
Yes?
Urban.
Yes.
Okay. No petitions or communications, so the mayor did not leave anything for me to tell you people, so we'll skip that. Now, Bob Smith left a paper for us. And, take a look at that. Even though Bob's not here, does anybody have any questions or anything? Or?
And then I do have something that I believe is Mr. One here, and I don't know if Ms. Rand, and I've gotten a complaint about 305 Penn Avenue with 6 jet skis, 4 cars, 2 RVs, none of them running.
I know I cited them a couple years ago.
Yeah, I drove by also myself, and yeah, that's a major issue right there. Well, it's major issues plural. I don't know if it's property maintenance as well as code violation, police also. There's just a lot of issues.
I know in the beginning of the year, I noticed it was cleaned up there, but it's progressively getting worse and worse. I'll make note of it and take care of it.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Well, you know, I did have one thing I should have said I wanted to bring up. I believe that we have an ordinance, these people with these garage sales, they're getting out of line again, putting them all over the telephone poles again, and they don't take them down. And as far as I know, we're not allowed to do that anymore. It's okay to put them in the ground, you know, if you're driving up a hill or something and it's there. But as far as putting them on the telephone poles, I don't think, I thought we said that that's not legal to do that. But I know by my house there's a couple on poles, and McClister Avenue, and over on Churchill by the church and everything, you see all these, you know.
Yeah, I know, I've seen it.
And,
When you say not allowed, is there like an ordinance that is passed, or is it like statewide that is?
I thought we did pass that ordinance.
It rings a
Ernie?
bell.
I remember passing something, I don't remember exactly what detail. I'm gonna try to look it up if I can get online, but there's also I think there's also a phone company, or a power company rather,
Yeah.
has provisions about posting on their poles.
Okay.
Yeah. I noticed that up by my house and around
Yeah,
the area that people are taking, but they don't even come take them down. That's the sad part. They just leave them up there, and I really don't like that.
If they would take them down, it wouldn't be so bad, but you know, when they leave them up and then they eventually it rains and they rip off and then they're blowing in people's
I mean, if
yards.
they're up for 4 or 5 days, you know, it's
Yeah.
one thing, but when they're still hanging there 4 months
Yeah,
later.
yeah. Like,
Yeah.
oh, when's this yard sale? Oh, 3 months ago.
I bet you a lot of them don't even realize that they're not allowed to put them on, especially the telephone poles. So I don't know if there's a way you could get that out to
Well, I
some
even-
people. I took mine down, by the way, no.
I mean, I even see one that I don't really like it, is the one with Powers puts up there.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah.
You got one, I noticed when you get on the highway by,
Mhm.
down from the church area, there's
But
got,
but I really think people don't realize that they're not allowed to do that.
yeah.
Because I haven't had one this year, but I have done that before, not knowing that you're not allowed.
Well, you
Is
know,
there a
we could
way to
never,
get that out?
one
Maybe
thing
on
about it, we
the
can never get it out to the Herald Star, they never show up anymore.
Yeah, right,
I sent them a very long email, just asking like, hey, what can we do better to facilitate communications? I received 0 communication.
yeah.
Well, when I sent ours up about safety meeting, oh, well, you know, you should have had it in here 3 days ago.
30?
Hello? I didn't know there was, you know, I mean, yeah, we used to send them up to Mark Law, like if he was at a meeting, he'd put it in the paper
Yeah.
the next day. And now this guy gave me, I want them at least 3 days beforehand. Wow.
I mean, technically, I think it's only, 48 hours is the notification.
It's not, the issue is not whether they publish it, the issue is whether you notify
Yeah.
it. So, you know, I would suggest that anybody that calls, make a note
Please, after.
of when you call, of when you sent them the information. So if it would ever come up as a question, it's not your fault, it's their fault.
Yeah.
If they get the notice and choose not to publish it, that's out of your control.
Might want to call them on your cell phone so you have an actual
Send
record
emails.
of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Send emails.
Or, yeah.
or send an
And
email.
email, yeah, Jack's put that on, about the email, yeah. Okay, let's see, Mayor, Billy, okay, Clark. He's not here. Ernie, you have anything?
I don't have anything right now.
Anybody have anything for Ernie? Okay, police chief, well, that's undecided. Okay,
So who is overseeing? Is it the interim
My,
chief?
yeah, my understanding is Willie is acting chief.
Okay.
yeah. Well, your first official duty with this council, stand up.
Before he even starts his report, just for clarification, council needs, if Brendan's appointed chief, council needs to confirm that. So you're aware of that. And technically, he's, you know, his status would have to remain, would be acting chief until council actually confirms.
So you want to do that right now?
You can do that right now. Somebody wants to
Okay,
make a
do I have
motion.
motion? Adam? Jody Lynn seconded? Go ahead, go ahead, Adam.
Make a motion that we recognize Brandon Montgomery as chief, effective, what's the date?
9/18? Or is it?
Mayor made it effective.
Well, it would be effective today, being chief, but you'd still be acting chief and you would still get the chief's pay.
Effective today then.
Effective
As long as
today
Tammy
would
has
be
it in the minutes, right?
actual
That's
appointment,
fine.
yeah.
Effective today.
Okay.
Effective 9/8.
Yes.
Yeah.
I second it,
Okay,
Tammy, you ready?
yeah.
Roll call?
Whoops, 9/8. Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Cramblett, Harris,
Yes?
oops, Urban,
Yes.
Bertel,
Yes.
Peeler.
Yes.
Okay, that takes care of that, okay. All right, Brandon,
Couple things, I applied for the,
you know, there. You know, I have to put up with 55 years of kids in a school meeting talking to them. So this way we can all hear you. Go ahead.
Couple things, I applied for the EMS reimbursement grant last month for COVID supplies. Max was $1,500, which we did get. Kim said she did receive the deposit for the $1,500 already back in the account. Transferred a little over $5,700 of August billing money from MCA. Kim, I read the check to her this morning. She received it and deposited that as well. Eastern Gateway is giving away money for EMT classes, $1,000. They just have to pay for the books. I got a couple volunteer guys upstairs who are interested in it. I just got off the phone with Mike Freeman. He's running 5 EMT classes right now. Looking at possibly a location for it. One of the questions was about having it downstairs here 2 days a week since we have a bigger hall, we social distance and stuff like that. 6 to 8 people will be max down here. So I just wanted to ask, is that something we could possibly do here towards the end of the fall? So they're running 5 right now, so the college is pretty maxed out.
How long are these, this class for?
It's roughly about 3.5, 4 months.
And these are the young men
I
upstairs
got-
that haven't passed it yet, they're going
No,
to?
not these guys. These are, it's a different class. Their class was an advanced EMT class.
Oh,
They're already
okay.
EMTs now, so it's their advanced. This is an initial EMT basic class.
Oh, okay.
So the colleges, I just spoke with the program director. He said that he'd be interested in maybe having it here. If we could
How
host
often
it.
are your classes, Brandon?
Like 2 days a week, 2-3 days
So
a
you
week.
probably need to get with Judy and check the schedule, make sure that the hall's not rented for any of those days. I don't know if anybody else has any issues. I
I
don't.
know, all in favor of that. Great opportunity.
Yeah.
I have a question for you then.
Yes.
The young men that you have here now, that
Yes.
are now full-time,
Yes.
when is the next test for them?
Whenever they schedule it.
Okay, so what do you do to, they have to take these tests and pass them, I'm sorry.
Sure.
But they need to be, if they're gonna be here full-time and get a paycheck, is there a way to set up these tests and have them study and pass it?
It's something they have to set up on their own through their account. They have to set up the Pearson Community Testing Center, and they have to schedule it. They're taking it. It's something I can't schedule them for. They have to do it on their own. And I do believe that the employment agreements were not signed, so even if they don't pass, they're still full-time employees.
Well,
Okay,
that made a lot of ooh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but I have, this is something with the contract. I know now that they're full employees, but if you were to work with them and tell them, look, this is what's going on, and they do not follow through, you have a way through the contract to first verbal, they don't listen to you, second write-up, they don't follow through, third suspension, nothing happens, fourth, you're fired. And you can do this through the union, and it will be corrected. They have no way to file agreements on that. Something has to be done to make these boys understand they're not going to get a free paycheck here. We don't have that kind of money.
That's probably going to be something with Ernie on the legal,
I'll get with
the legal
Brandon
aspect of.
and we'll,
That's
Yes.
a real touchy subject because it doesn't state in the contract they have to be advanced ALS providers because their employment agreement was not signed.
I understand that, but you as fire chief, if you address it with them and say, I need you to do this, and we need to sit down and maybe get this, then they are, as a chief, the fire chief, they are not listening to you. That is, I'm not saying it's a command, but as fire chief, I would
A
think
directive.
that you have something, wouldn't they have a little bit of
the
power
problem,
over that?
yeah, the problem you run into is that you don't have anywhere where you've put that qualification to them. He's right, they had the mayor had the agreement, and the agreement, actually, the original agreement gave them 2 years, because we knew it was gonna take time as far as scheduling and everything,
Yeah.
but they never signed the agreement. At the end of the 1 year, as everybody knows, they let it pass. It basically passed by. So I'm not sure that you can require that of them at this point.
Okay, when's the contract come up again?
The contract comes up, let's go one,
It's April.
April.
Okay,
And at that point, yeah, you can
okay,
negotiate that.
absolutely. 'Cause
And there's an
I'm
easy way to negotiate that too.
Mingo's in dire straits and we're writing out a paycheck to these guys that do what? Can't do.
I can do basic and
But-
advanced.
Show up,
They can't
that's
push
all.
cardiac.
Yeah, I mean,
Show
of
up.
course.
Not even advanced,
They're not
they're doing
advanced.
basics. Once Jim leaves, I'm the only full-time paramedic.
Okay.
No, we're just, oh yeah, just get in an ambulance and I'll drive you.
Another thing too is request executive session for personnel. We had an issue with a full-timer coming, it's not coming, so we need to discuss personnel.
Yeah, it was disappointing, but Jack?
I have a question on that first, the EMS, the EMT. We have no liability to pay that money back once they take this class?
No, they actually, it's a grant, it's college already has the money, it's $1,000.
I'm just asking.
We just pay for the books.
Pardon?
We just pay for the books, that's
Who's
it.
paying for the books?
The student would have to pay for the books.
Okay. So we have no responsibility for it?
No, I mean, as I understand it, since it's basic, which they're not an employee anyway, they wouldn't even be considered, volunteer without that EMT certification.
They're listed as call-out personnel, but
Yeah.
everybody receives a paycheck when they come out, but they're not a full-time employee.
Right.
And I do have money sitting in EMS education for that stuff, so, if needed be, but that's there's two guys, they've been here for a while, a couple years, and they do answer calls, so I get them into an EMT class paid by whoever's paying it besides us, so. But need to-
Anything else, Brandon?
Need to get an executive session, we're done.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Robert, while you're here, you have anything, we went over your,
No, not really.
anybody have any questions?
I do.
Ooh, what?
Did you guys take a look
No, no,
at
you're
some?
good.
Did you guys take a look at the alley summit by any chance? I had a couple more complaints on it.
I thought we actually far back on it on Sunday.
They said down the far end towards, I think it was Altieri's maybe, there was something done.
We'll take it.
Okay.
We will.
Okay, anybody else have anything for Bob? Mr. Ray Hall, you have anything?
I'll make it quick. We're putting you on a timer too. This will probably be the last time you see me at any meetings. So I figured I'm gonna take this shot at telling each and every one of you how I feel about you.
Okay.
No, I'm just joking.
Uh-oh.
I do want to say, thanks for the opportunity, Mr. Harry. I do want to say,
Thanks for a loud voice too.
I've had that for years. I've been told that many times. People, I want to say thank you to a lot of people. I'm not going to name people tonight because I would be here all night, 26 and a half years here. But I want to say thank you to a lot of people throughout my career, council members, ex-chiefs, mayors, all the other employees, especially the police officers, the ladies that work upstairs. A lot of people have helped me and all through those 26 years on the job as well as other ways, personnel issues, different things like that. But I'm glad that I spent my career here, and I'm happy that I'm retiring, but I'm glad that I spent my career here. Mingo is a good town for the most part, a lot of good people. I could go on and on, I don't want to get started, but the employees down here do a great job for the most part, and I've had a lot of help over the years, so I just want to say thanks to everybody who's been in this building and worked and stuff like that through the years. It was a very rewarding career And that man right there is the one that got me to be a paramedic. And I wasn't thrilled about being a paramedic when I came here. I was an EMT, and I wasn't completely thrilled and didn't think it was that big of an issue. But he made me go to school, and I'm glad that happened. I'm glad I became a paramedic, and as a group, all the people that have worked here have saved a lot of lives of the citizens in Mingo Junction. So going forward, you need to have paramedics in this town. This is an aging community. It's worse than it was 26 years ago. So you need to have paramedics. You need to have that ambulance going out there, and you need to have a fire department. So I'm still going to be here in Mingo. I'll probably be working another job, doing something for a while, but I'll still be around. But going forward, I would like you guys and everybody else that sits in your chairs to give this man support, because he's going to need it. Okay, first off, he's not all that experienced, okay? He just got thrown into a mess. So he's intelligent, and he's very well qualified at the job of being a paramedic and a firefighter, but the chief issues are a little bit, they're a little bit tougher. So I just would appreciate, I wish the mayor was here again so that he could hear this, but everybody needs to work together and support this man on operating the fire department in this town and keeping it full-time and keeping enough people here. It's not just enough to say we want a fire department, but you got to support the fire department and let him have the equipment, vehicles, and personnel to get the job done. But I think he'll do a good job. There's a half a dozen guys sitting up there now on the station that just come around and hang out now, which is something we haven't had a whole lot of lately. So I see that we've turned a corner, and he just needs support, because there are some who may be dragging things down, and he needs the support, as you just talked about the subject, to eliminate those people if they're not going to get on board the bus and go with the plan. So, but thanks to everybody. I enjoyed my career here in Mingo Junction. So, hey, I'll be around. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Wayne Dog.
Hey, Jack.
Jack.
Two things, we didn't have a resolution for him. I've already drawn a resolution up.
Yeah, okay, sure.
And also, I was chief for 19 years, never had any problem with him. One of the good employees we had, one of the good employees. He had a little stick on me once in a while, but great employee. Great employee. We should have 5 more like him, with other problems. So, Jim, good luck on your future, buddy.
Thank you, Jeff.
We're gonna miss you here.
You can always stop back and work with parents.
I'm too old, Jeff.
I know that.
Okay, we can bring it up in ordinances, George, when we get to it, okay?
It's a motion.
I already wrote it down, so don't.
We're good to go. I got it.
Okay, Wayne Dog. Well, I'm glad you're sitting next to me, because if you were one of my students, I'd have to pull you. You talking? No.
Okay, I'll go through the report. The first item, radio read meters, they're being regularly scheduled and installed. Thus far, there's 585 meters that have been upgraded. We got about 290 remaining in our stock. That'll be close to 900 once those are all done. Looking to have that done by the end of the year. And then probably have about 600 left, 700 to do. But making pretty good progress on that. The next 3 items are kind of appear on here all the time. I won't even go through those. We are still doing delinquent disconnects, and going to get the Lincoln Avenue Reservoir I don't know if anybody's seen it lately, but I went up and looked at it really closely. A lot of concrete work needs done. We're gonna get that done and then a new coating on it. There's basically no paint on it right now. And the moisture gets down in there and you can tell the ice is playing havoc with it. We did give a notice to proceed to the contractor for the dehumidifier replacement project. That was about a week and a half ago. We were doing some work on the north well water pumps, and that has now been completed. There was one pump that had a little hiccup with it. The shaft actually needed retooled. So, I mean, they actually had to put a new piece of shaft in, but the other two were okay. And this appeared on the last report too, about the excavations. We need to do some concrete and blacktop work, and then that driveway on Penn Avenue. So we'll get to that ASAP. That thing you brought up about the Summit Alley, that was a water leak. That's probably the one you were talking about by Alteria's garage. So, yeah, that'll be part of all this stuff. On the sewer side, the construction continues on the E2 tank. The last two corners report today, and then they're going to water test it within 2 weeks. They had a new disc blower that came in for the aeration ditches, and it should be installed this week. They're in the process of changing over to the other ditch, and then right now they're cleaning out and making sure all the diffusers are good to go. And we'll switch that over, and then, of course, the other one will be cleaned. They cleaned the Penn Avenue lift station with the vac truck, vacuumed the main sewer, and the 500 block of Commercial Street. That's the city building area, of course. Cleaned some CSOs, 3 of the CSOs. There's a lot of gravel in those. And then the number 1 digester has been rebuilt, and a new plug valve has been installed, and both digesters are now completely redone. That's also at the wastewater plant. Any questions on anything?
Anybody have anything? Jack?
That, on 118 Maple, that's been taken care of, right?
Yeah, we
Did you tell them what was wrong up there, or they know what's wrong?
What's
Did you
that?
tell council what was happening up there?
Yeah, I don't know if Bob, how much you touched on it last meeting, but we had to put a new blow off on the end of the line. There's a hydrant at the beginning of the line, but not the end. So we put a new blow off on there, and the day we did it, we let the water run for probably 2 to 3 hours, and it was crystal clear for the last 2 hours. You know, just. So I haven't heard anything further from that, from the resident.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Okay, Wendy, thank you.
Thanks.
Bob, you have anything? Okay.
Shut off's going pretty good, Wayne.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, we put too many out and it was too crazy, so I'm going just a little at a time.
Okay. That'd be nice like me, shut them off.
Yeah. That'd be nice.
Cal, you have anything?
No.
Good. He took care of everything. All right, okay,
I got a couple things going on, but I'm good.
okay. Okay, well. Finances, I guess pretty soon, we have to start looking to transferring some money, so, we'll check with upstairs and see what's going on and how that's going to be handled. Because there has to be money transferred for Jim's retirement. I think we talked about that, Jody Lynn, anyway, at the meeting, George, remember we talked about that, so. Adam, we have any ordinances tonight? George?
Yeah, we have a second reading, ordinance 2020-13, an ordinance to provide for an advance of 320 hours of sick leave to Patrolman Doug Hartsock and declaring emergency. And that's it for the ordinances here before us tonight.
Okay. That's it then, huh?
But there was one thing to bring up in reference to, looks like I wrote something down here, in reference to something I mentioned last meeting, which is the posting of locations, or the locations at which we make postings as far as ordinances, notices, reports, publications, etc. I don't know if council had much chance to talk to people or figure out other locations. I have a couple suggestions, a couple different options for council to consider. Option one, Ernie and I were talking, he brought up something here before council meeting started. The idea of modifying the ordinances and just saying the locations will be established by council and not having the exact locations in ordinance, but rather be more by policy by council. That is a thought. This we don't have to keep modifying the ordinances with it.
And you also won't it won't be affected by any updates when we do the code update. That won't change. We won't have to worry about that.
Yeah, do something going forward that kind of gives it more flexibility, which is a thought for, I think, council to consider.
Yeah.
And then option two, which really is also option one, because if we do that, we got to pick locations, as far as that goes. I did make mention and speak with Zane about his location as a spot we can post things. He was open to that as an idea. Presently, the locations for review, municipal building, obviously, post office, pharmacy, diner, Indian Village Apartments, and then the website. Now, as far as locations, the objective is to choose 5 of the most public places. So here's a thought to consider. Indian Village isn't really a place public just can walk into and do things at. So my thought, this is my thought and my perspective. We modify by keeping this building, obviously, keep the post office, keep the diner as one. That's a location in the south end that makes reasonable sense, and take away the pharmacy and put in a spot Zane's location, the blast furnace, as an option, and then take out Indian Village Apartments and in its place, consider a soft type up on the hill. That's a thought where my mind was at. I'm open to other thoughts, suggestions. We can talk about this a little bit. What do you guys think and have thought considered about that?
So I type want people coming in there.
It was a thought. I've talked about that. Thought to consider.
Another possibility instead of Indian Village is the Senior Citizen Center. Obviously under circumstances
The post
now.
office though too. It's like right
Yeah,
there.
but they are right next door, yeah.
But you know what, I look in the future of that, and that's, you only get 3 or 4 people down there now. And out there, as far as bringing food down, they're not gonna bring it down no more. So, I don't know in the new future, how long that building is even gonna, I think the only ones that go in there now are 4 ladies, and they play cards, and that's 1 day a week. I mean, they're not going in there now.
Oh yeah.
Right.
No, actually,
I
I remember the
think
ladies that
one-
played cards down there.
Yeah, right, that's the one
There
I
had to
said.
be at least 12 to 15 people eating lunch down there.
Yeah, they're not gonna bring it
Every
no
day.
more.
But now, of course, you know.
Well, they,
not having it
from
then.
what I understand with Jim, that used to do it, they're not gonna do it anymore, so I don't know.
George, how about Dollar General?
Huh?
I don't know
There's probably more
where they
people
would
there
put it
than
at
that.
Dollar General.
Oh, there is, but you know, unless you're gonna put it out in their parking lot. on
That's
the
not where
ground.
we would put it at Dollar
That's
General.
what most stuff is.
With everything else building.
With everything else.
We used to post it on Adam's building.
Well, outside right there, we used to post right there.
Adam's building.
The
On the
parking
bulletin
lot.
On the bulletin board, we posted there.
The cork board.
We could, if there was like some plastic sheet we could put over it, this way the rain wouldn't get too much on, that'd be a good
I
spot.
don't think so. I don't think so.
It's easy, accessible, it's 24-hour access outside, you know, type of thing.
I do have one question for you though. On Doug Hartzell, whatever his name
Oh,
is.
this one ordinance, yeah.
Did anybody talk to this guy?
The mayor mentioned he talked to him, but I didn't hear back.
The chief's gone, and he said he wasn't gonna go for this thing. And did anybody talk to this young man?
I haven't had a chance to speak with him about this.
I mean, somebody should probably go talk to the boy and find out if he's gonna sign this thing, or is he gonna go bye-byes?
Well, we need to know before we have our third and final reading before a vote.
Well, that's 2 weeks from now.
Right, yeah.
I don't have the contact information to.
Because Sagan kept saying he wasn't gonna sign it, right?
Pardon?
Sagan kept saying that he
Sagan
that he wasn't gonna sign it.
Yeah, he wasn't gonna sign it.
I know when he met with me, he said he would, so. I would think the mayor would need to get hold of, no, or Bob, I don't know.
I can, you know, I can try to get hold of the chief and see if, you know, the chief gets him, you know, Sue McKenzie can talk to him, see what we find out. Somebody's gotta get a bug to somebody's ear to do it, that's all.
Okay, anything else? All right,
Well, so as far as posting locations, you know, as far as access, I think outside Adams Building makes the most amount of sense, because it's, you can go up there and look at it anytime, and people are always coming around there.
And it does have the roof over it,
The
so
old
it won't
roof
get wet,
overhang.
at least it shouldn't.
If you wouldn't be opposed,
I don't think
to
so.
that, stuff like that. Then what does council think about, should we make a direct modification to the ordinances with specific listings? Or be generic and vague and just make policy
As
with those
directed by
locations?
council's locations,
Yeah.
I think that makes sense.
Think that makes more sense?
I think
Does
so.
council kind of generally okay with that?
Yeah.
I'm on the fence, but if council's okay with that, I can live with that as long as we have established policy by councilmanic action, I'm fine with that. Okay, then,
George?
I make a motion, we modify ordinance, I think it's 123.01? Anyway, where it says, in reference to the posting places of ordinances, proclamations and the like, to be established by order and policy of council and directed by council.
Second.
Cramblett,
Yes.
Herrick,
Yes.
Urban,
Yes.
Martell,
Yes.
Keeler,
Yes.
Fitzgerald.
Yes.
George?
I move that, as referenced by the previous motion in establishing the first reference as councilmatic order and locations for the posting of ordinances be set as following: municipal building, the website, the post office, the Mingo Diner, Blast Furnace, coffee shop and antiques, and Adam, how should we call your building?
109 Battle Run.
109 Bell Run, yes, good. Okay, yeah.
So we're having 6 places then, or?
Yeah, because we posted the 6th as the website last time, I think that's good to have it on the website.
Yeah,
If we have somebody who can get it on the website.
technically, the requirement you have 5 places or 5 public places, the website would not count, but it should be posted on the website, yeah.
Yeah.
You done, George? You got some more?
Well, there was no second to that, I don't think. So
Oh,
it was-
all right, yeah.
Oh, you did second?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, Jody did.
Was there a vote on that yet?
No, not yet.
Deborah,
Oh, so roll call, please.
Okay, so it was George and Fitzgerald.
yes, I second it.
Okay. Okay, Herrick,
Yes.
Urban,
Yes.
Martell.
Yes.
Keeler.
Yes.
Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Cramblett.
Yes.
With that, I turn the floor to you, sir.
Okay. All right, under safety, we had a meeting, George, myself, and Jody Lynn. And we went over payroll and money's gonna run out by September 24th is what we gather. And then there's gonna have to be some money, well, at the end of the year, we're gonna have to transfer some money. And then Jim's retirement also is including in that. And it was also at that meeting, well, the mayor attended also, that the man from Toledo was completely out as far as we thought, and we cannot meet his criteria to come down here, so the mayor took care of that. We talked about, we got a sheet that has all the area EMT basics pay and advanced paramedics and different things, and what everybody around here basically gets, because it lists all of them: Berea, Huntersville, Hancock, Unionport, Orange Ferry, Richmond, Short Creek, Brooke County, Mount Pleasant, Ohio County, Trinity, West, and we're, so, I don't know how many of you, maybe, I know we got them at the last meeting. I don't know, who brought those? Brandon, was that you? I don't know. Anybody else that's not on the committee, if you want one of those, you have any extras?
I think he gave them all of us.
Oh, did you all get them?
Council,
Okay. All right, that's good then. I'm glad you got that. Okay. Here's the safety again, Brandon, and then I'm going to ask you to, once again, and I know Johnny Wright did it, Jim did it, I am sick and tired of Dollar General. I mean, sick of it. I went in there yesterday, and every single aisle was a big, whatever you want, cart
How long?
with stuff on it.
Yeah.
I mean, completely. And we have called the state on them, we've done everything, and no matter what happens, they say, well, we don't have no room to put all those. But if we ever have a fire in there, I'll guarantee you, if it's busy, there's going to be some deaths. So, you know, we got to get on those people. It's just getting way out of line. It really is. And so we talked about that, and the other day, that was enough for me. I just had it. Hey, sometimes there's one there, and there's one girl. She's doing nothing. She could be stalking, but it doesn't matter when they stalk it. If they run out of space for coffee here, they put it down there where Jack is, and you have to go find it over there maybe. If this is out, I mean, it's just a mess up there. It is. I just can't take it anymore.
The exterior as well. I mean, I spent about an hour yesterday picking up all their cardboard and papers and the cans and bottles and everything out of my field right there. But
Yeah, well, Jody Lynn
they have
and I-
cardboard stacked outside. They just let it like
Below.
just blow everywhere. I mean, it's,
Well, they took, with the revitalization committee, and Jody and all of us went up there. One time, I opened my car door, and right at the bottom was a stack of cigarette butts. Big stack, where people take it in their cars and dump it there. I walked about 4 more steps, there was another pile. And they don't clean up around the outside. They've taken all the trash cans out of there. I mean, it's a mess, and I just think we got to do something about it.
I'll write up tomorrow.
Cal?
Are you talking about a safety committee?
Yeah.
This is a report for safety committee?
Yeah.
I'd like to remind you that I am on the safety committee, and a couple other people are on the safety.
I'd like to remind you that you are not on the council safety committee. You're on the management relations committee under the contract.
If I should have been at this meeting, that's
Yeah,
exactly.
but what I'm saying is, no, that was a council committee meeting.
Okay.
That's not the labor
So
management
what I
committee.
would like to request is, I would like to know when the next safety meeting is going to be for us as a committee.
I don't know, it's never been discussed with us, and this is the first time I heard about it. So, I mean, that's,
No, they were with us.
Yeah,
That's what I was
but
talking
when
about
Jody-
at the last meeting.
Oh,
I
But
brought it
there
up
is
and said,
but there's a distinction.
it's not like council, like general around town little, you know, it's like he's saying, like
This is
Ernie's saying.
the
there's-
contract provides for a labor management relations committee.
And that's for their safety.
That's what Cal's talking about.
Yes, that's what I'm
Yeah,
The
talking
it's always
safety
called
committee,
safety.
I mean, Jeff, you just think logically, council safety committee deals with police and fire, not, you know, water and sewer or service.
No.
You have those committees. But the actual, there is a management relations committee that has a couple, I don't remember the exact numbers, but has representatives of the employees and
yeah,
representatives of
there's
council.
three other members
Yeah.
on there. And I did ask about that at the last meeting.
Yeah, we did talk
Because I
about
was
it.
confused as
I would
well.
just like to
Being
know
head
when
of the safety
the next
committee,
meeting-
I thought there was one.
At a safety committee, are there issues you need to bring up too, that there are, that maybe you
Then you need to get a
Bring
hold of
it
Satch
up,
and
get
have
it
Satch
report,
schedule a
get it
meeting
paid.
since he's
That's all I'm
there.
asking, is if schedule a meeting.
Yeah, I don't know who's on the committee or anything.
Me, George, and Zach.
No, that's the safety committee, but this personnel, this management relations committee,
Now, I'm assuming
Can be
it's,
Last time it was, but it doesn't have.
yeah, but it can be whoever, yeah.
then I don't know who's on it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize.
Yeah, you guys would have to
that.
make it, yeah, you guys could determine that.
Is that might be a mayor appointment thing though, is it?
No, it's up to council, it's a council committee. I mean, it's specific, I think it's, if I remember, it specifically says members of council. And, you know, I mean, yeah, yes, technically it might be a mayor's appointment, but council needs to, you know, he hasn't specifically appointed anybody, so you guys can do it.
Well, I think we need to do that so that
Yeah.
people know who are on it.
Right.
You know, first of all, before you can even schedule anything.
For simplicity's sake, it might make sense to maintain as it was before, where it was the safety committee from council was a part
Yeah.
of, just to make things simple for.
Yeah, 'cause I think-
That's.
Yeah, I think
up
the
to-
distinction was, there seemed to be an understanding that they had to be, that the safety committee of council, they were part of that.
I'm telling
And I
you,
know,
I was
no, I know, I
sharing it.
understand,
Yeah.
I understand,
I
because you
didn't know
did, you
there
brought
were
it
two
up.
committees. I thought it was one.
Yeah,
But
you
nothing
brought
was
it up.
ever said to me that it.
No, I understand, you brought it up, and that's what I said, there, you know, there's two different things.
And that does make sense how you explained it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, but nothing was ever said that there are two separate and distinct committees
Right.
to, investigate
Yeah.
different things.
Okay, well,
Yeah, I don't have a copy of the contract, but if you look at the, with me, but if you look at the contract, it's
Oh, wait.
delicate. I would expect
This
it.
contract,
Yeah, if you look, I think it's in both, it's spelled out in both contracts.
yes.
do you play the accordion?
Yeah.
Like it.
Oh, yeah, there's enough room. Which one do you want?
Either one, they're the same.
Mingo Junction workers. This is what you want for you guys, right?
Yeah.
You want to look at it?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, just to see what is specified about each
Okay.
one. So I'm pretty sure it just
We
says,
as the safety committee will meet with you. Do you want to set up a date? Is that what you want?
Whatever suits you, I'll make it work.
And Kyle, you're gonna get a hold of your other members?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
If we're having it in
George, when are
September,
you
they
free?
need it to be next week, because I'll be on vacation the week after.
Okay.
I'm on vacation this week.
Sunday through Wednesday, I got a revival at the church that I am committed to. But Thursday, I'm free.
What, that, the 17th?
I am, yes.
How about you, Jody? 17th?
Yeah,
Okay. Cal, 17th?
What time?
Okay, what time?
it
I
is.
can do 6 and
I was gonna say,
Yeah, just to clear it up real quick, it says, Village and Union agree to establish a labor management committee consisting of 2 representatives of the union and 2 members of council,
Two.
because that's for these guys. Then there's a separate committee that is of police and fire. But it's 2 members of council, 2 members of the union who shall meet as needed to review the employment policies and procedures of the village. And then it says the committee may recommend to the village such changes to the village policy and procedures manual on related matters as it determines appropriate.
Then if you two wouldn't mind, I got revival that week, I got all kinds of church things going on next week. I'll just abstain myself, you two can pursue,
Okay.
that's okay for you two.
Jody, then that was the 17th, right?
Six,
About 6:15?
6:15, that's fine.
Cal?
Down here.
Got it, down here, yeah.
17, 6:15 down here.
Yep.
Thank you.
15, okay. All right. All right, now, as
Yes.
the mayor used to do, service, you have anything? Okay. Street lights or anything, nothing? Yeah, okay. Jack, you have
Jack
anything?
usually takes care of
Okay.
this anyway, so.
All right. The other one, anything? Oh, good, I feel like we're, howdy-doody. Health and pension?
I'm gonna be communicating, trying to get a hold of Frank,
Frank Harmon.
Frank Harmon, yes. This week to set some things up, to get things back, probably, to everybody in the village to kind of fill the same forms and stuff like that. The typical yearly type things, they can go get various quotes and type things, so it makes sense for next year.
They
Not
are,
communicate with everybody and very abreast of how that proceeds.
yeah, they are gonna have you fill out paperwork this year. Firefox forms.
So, it's just like the left in there somewhere.
I would like to have a key to that building, because I would like to check on it periodically to make sure everything is okay in there.
Well, in the morning we have coffee, Fred comes up and has
Does
coffee,
Tell them I'm
and he does go over there,
Yeah, okay.
but you want to keep. Okay, yeah, no problem.
Do not duplicate key, so please don't lose it.
I would never.
Okay.
George, you got anything on the
It's on my car key, so I don't
comic
know.
development?
Yes, Economic Development Committee met with administration, mayor, administrator, to discuss some things, set up like-minded priorities for what to target first. You saw one in Bob's report, I think it was the Langer statement number 4, yeah, and reference, you got a hold of Scotty is willing to meet, discuss some things. So I'll talk to you after the meeting real quick, and we'll see if you mention some dates, we kind of see some things rolling there. But in reference to looking at some planning, and with a primary focus, first of all, at downtown and Weezex property, as some primary focal points to begin this type of things. And in so doing, there may be a motion before council next meeting to authorize a member of the committee to go after some grant type things, working in conjunction with administration to accomplish that. So I would anticipate that probably next council meeting, once those some things be a little more lined up and a little more prepped and prepared to move in that facet. Well, I thank my committee, the mayor and administrator for coming together. We're getting things like-minded, which is good. With a like-minded vision, you can attack things with priorities and work together seamlessly, and that is the objective going forward. With that, I return the floor.
Okay, thanks. Smitty, you don't have anything from BHJ, do you?
No, you don't have to go to this.
Huh?
I think you don't go to BHJ. You're retired and everything. You don't go to those meetings? You know what?
Sometimes I go.
Yeah, what? 8th grade picnic?
Oh, yeah. I did go to a couple. I did, seriously.
Okay.
Does anybody go to those regularly for us?
I don't, I can't go.
So nobody's going?
Nobody's going as far as I know.
This is a major issue.
Yeah,
How about the mayor, isn't the mayor, you, the mayor, and
I don't go to BHJ, I go to the regional planning, because it's
Yeah.
7 o'clock in the evening. I can't go during the day to a BHJ meeting. Now, I want to go to a BHJ meeting during the day.
no, I was thinking regional planning.
Yeah, I go to regional planning.
Okay, did you need an executive? Okay.
You got somebody in the back who.
You got a guy back here.
Oh, Jeffrey, I'll tell you what, for all the donuts you eat, you still hid behind that pillar. That's all right, buddy.
Okay.
You want me to
Come
talk
up here and
now?
talk.
Yeah, well, let's go.
Okay, you want me to get up and talk?
Yeah. It don't take you 8 hours to get the mask off.
Floor is yours. Pretty ready to hear you.
Okay. We want to do our Halloween function again this year.
Hey, Jeff, take us, you're hiding behind the pillar,
Okay, I'm
take us a
sorry.
couple steps forward so the camera can get you too.
We want to do our Halloween function again this year. We're going to do a drive-through. It's been a nice turnout for the last 3 years. Let's see, we're going to have it at the shelter. We want to use the what was that called? Rudy Blacktop. We want to use that area there. We go off and through, and let's see, we're going to give away some treat bags. Everybody's going to stay safe.
They're not going to try to go out to the other side there where the other, bocce court, are you? You're not talking about that, are you?
That's what we were thinking.
Oh,
We're
no, we're not going to take cars up there.
No?
No,
How about if we did it downtown?
Then we'd have to do it down below.
Yeah, you can do it down below. We're not going to take,
Hello?
only time that's usually used is by police or something.
Oh.
Am I mistaken here, Jack?
No, it's locked.
Yeah, well, it can be unlocked, I mean,
Well, I
that's.
understand, but then you're gonna run, they're gonna run in the grass and everything.
Exactly, that road's not wide enough, really, for cars.
Well, we can do it down below. Can we use a concession stand to,
If I don't care what you use, as long as you take care of it, I don't care.
okay, just as like a staging house to put stuff in?
The
the concession stand.
Just the, because there's an open window there, we can have bags.
You're talking
People
up at the
could be-
shelter house.
Well, we're not gonna use the shelter
Yeah,
house.
pool concession stand.
The pool
Down by the
concession
pool.
He's
stand.
moving things down because
They're
they
gonna
can't
take
use
it
the road
down
to come in and then go out, so he's
I
moving
got
things
that,
down to
but
the
how
lower
are people
lot.
gonna drive through
They're
to
gonna come
get?
through, and then if you want them to
bags.
go out past the cemetery, out that way.
Take the two tables down there, the picnic tables.
They can just circle around, that's easy. to
Yeah,
do
you
now.
don't need the concession, I can't
Yeah,
say.
they
Just
go
go
to
down.
parking lot.
Yeah, for storage or something like that.
Yeah, they can circle around the parking lot.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can get it out of there.
Unless they come through and go down and
Wouldn't it-
come
I
out
was just
through the
saying, like, staging
cemetery,
place.
you're gonna have traffic.
Yeah, we could, but I'm just thinking of the rain or something.
Yeah. They
I
can just
think-
circle around
Oh,
down.
there's candy rain on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's why we went to the shelter house. Anyhow,
Okay, let's figure out, where are you gonna try to circle them around at? We can just circle them
well,
around the
do
parking lot.
we have to circle them around, or can we just go out through the cemetery?
The easy-
Are you coming in the top part?
We can't come in the top.
I was gonna say, okay.
We're gonna have to
Come
come in.
in, come
We're
in
gonna
off
come
the
in past
western,
Jack's
to
house,
the park,
and
circle around and back out.
Go
west.
through, yeah, go through the main entrance.
Yeah, just circle around, I wouldn't go out through the,
circle around. What if there's 800 cars there? That'll be a cluster.
well, I tell you what, you go out through that back.
We don't
They'll
have,
be
we don't
parked in
have a
front of
small
my
crowd
driveway.
when we have our thing. If they shut down Halloween and all
You're
the
gonna
other
get
towns,
everybody.
everybody's gonna be
$5
out
for
of town.
parking Ernie's yard.
Oh, no, no,
Just don't block my driveway, that's all I ask.
That's it.
Yeah,
Let's see what
it's,
happens.
the road's not good.
Not a good road to go out.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
especially if
think,
you have bad shocks.
I think going through,
If it's dark out.
Well, I mean, it's bad road, Jeff.
It is.
what you have to do if you do that is make sure, is don't allow anybody to come up out of the park and make a left onto Granite. Make them go straight down.
Well,
West.
and that's where we get to our, we would like to have some security at the entrance to the park and the, back in the Logan somewhere, probably by the service garage, yeah.
Jim,
What?
these people in Little Park said, Timmy Reed did all that road, that road's pretty nice shape.
And it wasn't that great the last time I was
Well, I
on.
was just over there the other day, it's pretty nice shape, I drive my tractor through there, and there's no big holes.
Okay.
Timmy took that front end loader and put the
Okay,
chips
so
on
I wasn't
it.
done that lately. but-
Go out that way.
So you wanna go out by the garage there, out the,
Go back out to Logan and then go down to Logan,
They
go back
where they
to
wanna
Mingo,
go.
or they can go out to another community,
Yeah.
I think. That's where they wanna go.
Almost 2 months to work that out, doesn't have to work out tonight, take a look at it.
sorry, brother Chris, I know it sounds.
We put our hours on there, it's gonna be a Saturday, so, And then we're gonna ask the residents to donate candy if you're turning trick or treat off for Mingo. They might wanna donate candy to our.
I don't know what they're doing, I don't know what the mayor's gonna do.
Okay. That's it.
I wouldn't think that we would
Dollar card,
have it.
It's-
I know, that's why I'm like, I don't know.
But we're gonna have a safe function,
Yeah, I mean,
because
this-
people don't have to get out of
this
their
is
cars, we get it to them, they keep
I don't know
moving, they
that you
keep
went door
moving,
to
they keep
door.
moving.
Particularly if Stumo doesn't.
Some yes, and some.
Yeah.
That's for sure, I mean, you're right, Ernie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
I just think, they're gonna be
If Stuzo
canceling,
doesn't
so.
have trick or treat and then we, have a decision, I mean, I think it pretty much tells us what we're gonna do. I mean, we would follow suit, We wouldn't have it if they're not, then it would be total chaos in our town. We'd be getting, there's enough neighborhoods to get bombarded as it is, Sunrise Terrace and other areas, people come in by the carloads, truckloads, and, I mean,
Plus,
Yeah, they do.
if our neighboring community,
guarantee
if our neighboring community didn't have trick or treat, I mean, they'd all be coming, everyone would be
Yeah.
coming to, here to trick or treat,
Yeah.
so it'd be crazy.
Do
Just get everyone.
Down Mingo residents?
Sunrise Terrace is
Mingo
full.
residents?
What do you mean?
Mingo residents only.
Wow.
You ever
Oh,
put that down?
residents
No,
only?
because
How you gonna do that?
we got Steubenville,
Unless we have to
Weathersville.
stop them and say, hey, I want to see your license, because this is residents only for Mingo, that'd be
Well, if you put a
good.
sign up that says Mingo residents only, and you
Yeah.
drive down there, you gotta be stupid.
I think we should,
Okay.
because we're gonna have 1,000 cars.
You're thinking we should put a sign up that says bingo only? Is that what
I
you're saying?
think, Do you know how many cars are?
I just didn't know, that's what he was saying, he was asking.
And that's why I put, you know, when the candy runs out, it runs out. So.
Well, and that's the thing, I mean, think about it though, if we are the only town that's having
Oh, it's gonna
anything
be
at all,
back.
think about the backup, I don't care if you're giving them one, but it's still gonna, I mean, it could literally back up the exits on the
To the highway.
I mean, seriously, that's something that we seriously need to consider, yeah.
Get her in an orange vest.
Going back down there is not a very good road to go down to begin with. If you had to go back down Western.
That's not too bad.
I think it's the greatest.
You know how you fill a pool with water? When you fill
That's all right.
your swimming pool, you put water in the hot pool? That's the way it is on Halloween night on Sunrise Strip. Oh.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It should be-
Yeah, I would advertise this Mingo only. You know, that way you can maybe deter.
I mean,
You're
remember,
still gonna get people that are just Mingo only, there's no doubt about it.
this is a private function. They can set their, you know, they can say Mingo only. It's not like, it's not even like the city's saying it. It's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guarantee you.
That's a kid in the back with a hand up.
We got lines above.
Action.
I make a motion to go to executive session for personnel.
Okay. I second it.
Roll call.
Urban,
Yes.
Patel,
Yes.
Sheeler,
I will not.